now, John, is can they get off on the right foot here on Vertigo? We've already got the pistol round underway, and there's a fair chunky utility picked up here from Mythic, so let's see what they're going to do with it.
And also, Mike.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Inferno, map number 3, if we get there, that's also going to be an interesting one because both teams like to play it.
Yeah, and I actually don't like PaiN's Inferno very much when I've watched it previously. It's actually interesting because the decider in this feels like PaiN's weakest map of the 3.
Yes.
Just based on what we've seen in the past. They're very stagnant, particularly on their CT side. It's not a very dynamic CT side, and it does leave it occasionally vulnerable. But Mythic need to get things started on the right foot here on Vertigo, and so far they've poked their head up ramp, they've been rebuffed. They poked their head up steps, they've been rebuffed. So they haven't really got anything, but they also haven't really lost anything to this point other than some utility. And now, frankly, I don't even know if they know where they're going, so PaiN certainly doesn't know. It seems like they're back to steps. They're going to come up the stairs. They're boosting a player behind the danger panel. They do have some utility to go for an execute. A smoke and a molly. But with 2 sets of eyes and a third ready to rotate, this is a pretty strong setup for PaiN. Smoke going to go in. Roadblock, some vision from Biggie. Zera, good shot on the hard Zal. That was important. Had to deal with him early if they were going to get a chance at a plant here. Big utility down. Molotov and damage coming through, but it's an even exchange. Still advantage Mythic, and look at the health. Starting to whittle away here for PaiN. Need to start getting these kills, and it's just not happening. PKL and Ek is trying to come back through. They've got the kit, but no smoke means they can't really go for the defuse with that bomb plant exposed to the steps. And now it's all just down to the Giz. He's not got the health for this fight. He's going to try, but try as he might, continues to lose health, and they're not giving him the fight twice with the next contender, but he's running out of time. He's just got to go for it. Has to shoot that smoke, but again, a Glock bullet will be enough to take him out with his wounded HP. It's Mythic on the board first.
Yeah, and good to see Twice get off on the right foot, right, with 2 frags to his name. Eric also gets to a 2K, so Mythic entering into that B site. I like the decision, right? They went back and forth, tried to find the opening, eventually just said, you know what, let's just try for an execute onto the B site, and it worked out. The reason I highlight Twice is because he's going to be critical. I think they just got to slot him right into Freak's role. He's got to be an entry fragger, and he's got to go in and do the damage. That's going to be a key to success here for Mythic. As a nade's going to get tossed into the back halls here, another one comes through. Cooper trying to lead the charge, and PaiN are actually quite heavily stacked towards this ramp. They're dealt with handily, and no damage done aside from Nython taking down Nate. Bigger could do something here, and he does get Eric. I'm not sure why Eric goes out by himself there, but either way, that makes it a 3v2.
All right, let's talk about what just happened there. So you're in a situation where you've got full control of a bomb site, and the round, frankly, should have been over. And now it's not. And a big part of why it's not is because your lurker just kind of walked into the B steps.
Yes.
With no information in a situation where you didn't really need to and where there wasn't a ton to gain. I guess he was assuming a save may have already been in. He was trying to lurk in to do the damage. But either way, that has opened things back up. Not tremendously. No util makes this tough. No kit makes it tough as well. And they do take the rifle out of play quite handily. At this point, Hard's out. It's just going to get that AK and get it out of here. So that's not a bad find, frankly. I mean, it is a forced buy. Yes, you'd like to succeed. But they still do have an AK to show for in the next round. So that does make this next round a little bit more dangerous than perhaps it needed to be. But at the end of the day, the round is still won, so no harm, no substantial foul.
I'm going to see Nython here at least get that one before falling, but you're right, there really was no reason for Hate to come through there on the lurk. Perhaps he thought no one would be in that position, maybe he'd get a flank, but it would have been safer just to go to the bomb site and reinforce things. That said, you know, Mythic handled themselves pretty well, weren't too fussed by the MP9, and Hardzal was already committed to saving the AK, so no real threat there. Flom, along with Cooper and Hate, already charging up the A ramp. They're going for these quick hits, they're trying to keep PaiN on their back heels. And Nekiz is going to fire away through that smoke. Nython has a peek as well. But reinforcements are going to come pretty heavily from PaiN here, as you would expect, because they only have a pistol, right?
Well, that's a little bit of questionable play as well. But Cooper is traded. They can't get that rifle back. They're trying to retrieve it, but the smoke don't extend far enough. Nekiz has it, and he just flies his way on through. Obviously, PaiN's going to be able to invest in the next round, but whatever little chance they had for impact in this one, not promising. And indeed, there's nothing doing. So, ripper of a shot from PKL.
Wow.
Okay, that was spicy. A little snap to with the... Oh! No, don't give him
Look
another
at the
one.
Damage.
Don't give him another one. Oh, my goodness, he got that so close.
He got 2 headshots.
My goodness, with that USP, he's deadly. I was just gonna say that this is a great result for Mythic because half of the force buy is expensive, right? So now you get to keep the guns alive. And then PKL's like, nah, I'm just gonna play James Bond games and kill everyone with the USP.
They're lucky they didn't lose another one there. He had 2 headshots with the USP. If it was any other pistol, he would have had 2 frags. So Mythic walk away, limp away, I should say, with 3 guns up and running. And this time they'll have the 4 AKs and the op, but they will have to face off against PaiN's first full-on buy-up. And here comes Flom peering over the tippy top of the smoke. Yeah, it goes back and forth between Flom and Cooper. They share the duties pretty equally. Cooper has 30.4% of his frags with the op, and Flom with 26.7% of his frags coming with the big green.
Where's Cooper playing? I mean, he's up by the B steps right now, so obviously that's not as ideal an opping angle as playing in fork here for Flom.
Yeah.
But, I mean, T-side, that's pretty mutable, so that's an interesting one to me. I'm feeling like he's the hot hand, or maybe he's just the only one who could afford it. Either way, here comes the swing, and it's a 1-for-1 twice. Getting something on the entry, and
good
out
trades.
of bullets, Hard Zao will go down. Problem is, it's even numbers elsewhere. That bomb hasn't made its way on over, but now it'll start to go in. Hate burning for half of his remaining health. He's down to just 28. I'm going to go for this danger panel boost eventually. Oh, yeah, there you go, Flom. There you go. Upsy daisy. Up and over. But here's the thing. No one's on B. So it didn't matter how long it took them. PKL has just now gone back to check it. I don't know whether you got an audio cue through in towards mid. 25 seconds on the clock. They kind of got to go. You kind of got to go. PKL just trying to spam the angle. 17 seconds, 15 seconds. The flank is on as well. Nithon's coming. Is he going to get there in time? He might. He might. Hate repositions on the plant. And that's the problem. Because the Nithon strikes. He was coiled. He was ready. He was waiting. And PKL, it turns out, was just a distraction.
Yeah, Team Mythic just took a little too long to go for that boost on over the danger panel. And I mean, look, yeah, you have to get it done faster because by the time they did make it onto the site, Nathan has already worked his way all the way down the ramp. The call-out was there. PKL rotates back to the B site. Nithon's coming in on the flank, and then they couldn't get the bomb planted quickly enough. And after that, Nithon cleaned up house. So, first round on the board for PaiN. And Mythic, because they lost so many guns in those first 2 buy rounds, though, well, they're stuck with a couple of AKs, 2 MAC-10s, and the Tech 9 up against what PaiN will have bringing forward from that previous round, 4 A1Ss, and of course the AK that Big U carried on forward. Here we go, though, round number 5, and Mythic has at least gotten off to a decent start for themselves, albeit a little bit sloppy in winning those 3 rounds they did get.
Yeah, there's always been moments, right, where it looked like he was teetering.
Yes.
Even in what should have been very controlled victories. They have a tendency, I'm noticing, and they're not doing it this round, so I won't talk about it. We'll talk about it a little later, the next time they show it. But for now, it's a 5-man hit up the ramp, and it's a 5-man hit that's kind of getting disintegrated. Eric does get an entry, but now they're trying to swarm onto PKL. They're all going after that 1 kill, and they do not succeed. Now the nades will rain in with players so very low. Those HEs might as well be atom bombs. It's down to Hate. He's the last one surviving. He's got 6 points of health, and at the very least, he has the bomb. But he doesn't have his life. That's how having some fun with that spam. So what I was going to say is in previous rounds,
yes,
they seem to have a tendency where even when they were getting entries, even when they were getting space towards the site, they were still very spread around the map, kind of doing their own thing. And it left situations where you'd see man advantages stripped away because you'd lose a fight elsewhere. That round, they just grouped with the full 5, but just because they had the limited weaponry, and it doesn't really work. So, now that PaiN have their feet under them, now that PaiN have an established economy, now that PaiN have the utility they want, it'll be interesting to see how Mythic does. This round, obviously, we're not expecting much of anything at all. No armor, just pistols.
No.
But the next time a gun round comes out, I'm going to be curious to see how Mythic approaches it.
Yeah, here it's just going to be likely a bit of a slaughter into fork. Nithon's getting him maybe a little too aggressive. He gets tagged down, but he's got support from Nekis, who also gets a touchdown with the HE onto it twice. PKL finds Hayden, and it's just Cooper left. He will go down pretty handily. So as expected, a very easy round victory there for PaiN. They're building up their economy with all 5 players left standing, and now Mythic will be back with that buy round you talked about, Mike. So let's see how they approach this one. One thing I've noticed 2 or 3 times now, that full-on A push. Sure, it's going to work against PaiN when they might not have the weaponry, but I don't think it will be working against them when they have the rifles.
They had 5 smokes, but I think only a couple of flashes.
Mm.
Oh, that's rough for a T side, and they're already down to just 2 smokes, single flash. And look how deep they still are in towards mid. So with all this util spent, they're just now taking around the bend in towards mid. They haven't really gotten much for it. They've lost the opening pick as well. They're given the mid space. Okay. Interesting one for PaiN. They've got deep control down the B steps, but they've given up mid. It's going to be PKL and Biguzera to fight for this. There's the spot. Now they know. But Bigu's actually the hammer. With the distraction. And it works out beautifully. Oh, the 1-2 punch from PaiN. They've done this a couple times to Mythic already, and that one works out very nicely indeed. Hardzel might just walk this, to be honest, but no, he puts a smoke down and doesn't give Flam the opportunity. Mythic do have a tendency, I'm noticing, and again, it's going to be a situation where you don't practice, really. They swarm, right? They see a player, and they swarm, and they all try and chase to get the kill, which does lead to situations like the 1-2 punch we just saw. If you're trying to chase PKL and you're trying to take that space, you're maybe not anticipating Biguzera being there for the crossfire, and that's just a very tough situation to play out of.
Yeah, it just also, it's a style of play for Mythic, right? As you mentioned, because they're usually relying on...
Is that a style of play?
I guess. They just kind of go for those frags that, whatever they can find quickly, but oftentimes it doesn't really work out in their favor. I don't know. Like I said, this is their toughest challenge on Vertigo.
Yeah.
PaiN is a team that knows how to play the map, so some of the tropes that might work for Mythic against lesser teams won't work against PaiN.
I mean, it is, again, just the classic difference between, you know, a professional organized team like PaiN and Mythic, who are a lot looser. It is what it is at a certain degree. Now, admittedly, this is Vertigo as well, so it does have a very heavy CT team. But we'll see when we eventually do get to the half switch, if that really changes the fortunes for Mythic. This round, certainly no fortunes will be changing. They have been massacred forklift, and massacred they will be.
Oh boy, the economy is really building up nicely from PaiN. You got 4 players above 10K coming into this one. I think a couple will drop down. I don't know if he's going to.
I don't know. I mean, the rifles have been working just fine. I'm just curious whether Nython wants it, because obviously he's got stupid money.
I mean, if we're looking at the frag department here for Mythic, talking a little bit more about them, Cooper's the one who's been carrying the load for the most part, and Flom, pretty equally. 253 frags in the season for Cooper, and 251 for Flom, with the only player at a kill set differential that's positive is Flom at +7. So I think we'll be looking to those 2 players to really light a fire under the feet of Mythic, and again, you're going to be noticing the lack of Freak being a factor here, because he opens up so much space for this squad. But now it appears as though they've put twice an alert roll, and well, hoping that the ops can get the openers, and this time Cooper will get the opener with the op. PKL goes down, and that makes it a 5v4.
That's bold from Nekiz. Trying to retake the space. He did get the space, but he found a bullet at the end of it. So now opportunity is knocking for Mythic. Not just a man advantage, a 2-man advantage. We've seen some awkwardness in their steps takes before. Hardzel's waiting this with a smoke. They love to go for this danger panel boost. This is their favorite thing to do this. There's Eric! And he doesn't get that kill, but he does so much damage onto Hardzel. 3/4 of a kill to be quite frank. And let's see. They can zero it in. They're up on the fight. Tons of utility raining in for Mythic, providing some space. They just need to get on toward the bomb plant. But it's close going back the other way. And there we go. Twice with 2 more kills. It's all falling apart now. Nython, the lone survivor. And he will withdraw to try and keep that op alive. A huge round for Twice. 3 kills in it. And Mythic back on the board.
Look, PaiN go to the op and they lose the round. That's probably not the reason, though, because Mythic did a really good job there. In fact, Cooper, peering over the tippy top of that smoke, hits his shot perfectly with the big green, and then twice afterwards gets Nikiz, who got a little over-eager. And that's the risk for PaiN right now, right? Everything's going perfectly for them, and they might get overconfident, make plays that they usually wouldn't, and that's where Mythic can capitalize, because they are no slouches. Sure, they might lose some rounds quite handily and not even get a single frag, but they're still very capable players that you cannot underestimate. And I think that's, as you mentioned in the pregame, Mike, the biggest risk for PaiN.
Yeah, I mean, it is also just PaiN's natural instinct at a certain point. We see it. I almost think Vertigo is the map where we see it most. Between Nikias and Nithon, they love a chase down the road. They
They've tamed
love to
themselves.
chase in a forklift. And
They've
it
tamed themselves a
has...
lot, though, Mike.
Sorry, what was that?
I said they've tamed themselves a lot in terms of those
They
pushes. It's a very
they
different
have, but
PaiN from
Vertigo
yeah.
in specific, I feel like it comes out a little bit.
Yeah.
And we have seen them punished a fair few times. So, obviously a tendency that can get away from them. We'll see if they can just zero things in now. Nekis wants to fight. He's got a flashbang, obviously, to set it up, but this time, he's not just going to go pursuing on down. Oh, Nithon on the wire! Takes that same fight with Cooper, and this time, it works out to his advantage. That's a nice way to reframe the fight. Just give yourself a little bit more altitude and look for the same peak coming through from Coop and punish it this time around. So there we go. Mythic without the man advantage. Nithon back on top of that exchange, and they are going to go right back to the boost up behind the wood panel. There's a spot. This time they know. Does Hardzal read it? He doesn't. Wasn't expecting the panel boost. Hardzal wasn't wise to their tricks just yet. But in they go towards the site. Twice burning. He still gets a kill. Can't stay alive past PKL. But now it's chaos on the site proper. And that bomb, it does need to cross before these smokes fade. It's trying for it. They don't have any more, John. It's going to be it now. Hate needs to get that bomb planted now. As they fade, he's in for a world of hurt, and it's already coming. It's already happening. Flom, a great shot. But Hate's stuck up on the boxes. He can't get that bomb down. And things are getting, dare I say, pretty dang weird.
Oh!
Was that a spam?
Yeah!
Oh! Whoa. Okay! Alright! PaiN fighting into things, and Mythic just taking some time to wait on the bomb plant. They were zeroed in on either side of that, and they catch it out. I don't know if Hate spotted someone jumping over the smoke, but dang, did that spam work out.
He did make the jump. He might have spotted something, maybe an inkling, and said, hey, I'm going to try spamming this, and man, oh man, did it work out in a big way as Mythic get their second in a row, and we're right back to square one, tied up at 5-5 twice. Has been doing a great job entering onto the A site. This is what they need from him. 10 frags, leading the scoreboard, but Cooper is again the first casualty, as Nekis this time is going to find him with the A1S. There was no op for Nithon to work with in this round, but Cooper still gets dropped, and surprisingly, he's the one at the bottom of the scoreboard. So Twice is carrying the load.
That Twice. A known hard carry behind the steps. A cheeky spot for Big Azera. This time it works out. Hardzal chasing for more. There we go for PaiN. Can't got caught out by the stairs fight if you take the fight to them. It's all going to be on the Twice, and while he does get one, might be a question of how much damage he can do. Cheeky util usage, but Big Azera is nonplussed.
All right. Well, that was a big shift from the previous two rounds. I think we're going to see a lot of that as the series goes on. But look at this Bigu with the cheeky spot behind the stairs. Just easy to overlook. And even with Mythic sending a player up there, they looked, didn't see it, and Bigu ends up getting the free frag. So PaiN Gaming right back into the lead, up 6-5. And Mythic will have enough money to force up here. It's going to be a couple of pistols, though, Twice for the Deagle and Eric with the Tech 9. But yeah, Flom and Hate with AKs, and Cooper is going to be running the big green, it seems like, for the rest of this half at the very least, as he's been the one finding a little more success. So I think you're right, Mike. They just play the hot hand. Whoever can get that op rolling faster is the one to continue using it.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd say exactly 2 and 9 is rolling wicked fast, but he did get a nice op entry, and he's going to try as well. We know what Cooper can do, certainly. Eric trying to jump past the op, jump past the angle. Not quite successful. Turns out Big Azera pretty quick with it. He's taking the AWP from Nithon, which is interesting. To play the mid roll, though, that's may just be a little bit more situational. But with Nithon already committed in the ramp fight, I would imagine it's not going to change hands now. That was like, okay, you know the meme image? We're getting exchange hands towards mid, but you know the meme image of the like hot chocolate gorilla melting into the pot of milk, saying, wait, hold on, I have a message for you, and then he fades before he relays the message?
I don't.
That's what Twice just did with the bomb. Just as he died, tosses it over to his teammate from in the floor.
Well, didn't make a difference in the end, but PKL is going to get that last frag, and another very good round for PaiN to build up their economy, which continues to flourish. 7-5 in favor of PaiN, as, yeah, you're going to see that...
They
burning
kind of
alive
just
for
floundered
Twice.
in towards mid, John. I
They
mean,
did.
we
I
had some
mean,
aggression from PaiN, but Mythic stagnated really hard there and left themselves open to it.
yes. We also can't forget that PaiN is technically the team that's heavily favored here. I think we alluded to it quite a bit.
Technically,
As gonna go
every
in
other
here and
kind
get
of
Eric.
way.
Nekis gets Cooper, 5v3. Yeah, I mean, you look at their stats, they're unbelievable. I mean, everyone has a positive kill to death differential, as PKL gets another one on Twice, and the leaders, Big Uzera, 346 frags and a plus 96 kill to death differential, followed by Nekis, who's got 323 and a plus 66 KDD. So it, you know, it doesn't get much worse for them. I mean, they're
No.
all solid players.
I mean, realistically, again, PaiN is a professional salaried org that has played, that this team has at this point played a fair chunk of international CS as well, right? Like, they're very experienced. They're very good. They're a team that we expect to be a representative for the Americas region in international tournaments. It's just a little bit of different expectations between them and Mythic at this point. So, I think for Mythic, obviously we'd love to see them get wild and crazy and push PaiN to the absolute limits, but part of it's also just about having a good showing here. They're going to be headed, whoever loses this is going to be headed into the lower bracket, right? And you want to be in good form if you wind up there as well. But we still got a lot of CS to play here, even just on Vertigo on Mythic's map pick. And again, because of the way this map leans, Mythic aren't actually having that bad of a T side.
No, and Eric's going to get the opener here up against Hard Zao. That doesn't hurt at all. And also to note,
Oh, what a ripper from Eric! Another entry! Throwing more into the fight by Steps, trying to get that kill and just getting haircuts instead. Buzz cuts from Eric. Oh my goodness. That was an absolute ripper of an AK shot. And now, Mythic with a double man advantage, Sean. Things are getting a little wild. And they're grouping up for a full B hit. I love it.
There's a lot of space open on this B site for Mythic, and PaiN are reading mid, which is the wrong read. In fact, Mythic are all heading up those stairs. Molotov's going to fly in here. It's not really going to stop Mythic too much. They're already onto this bomb site. Eric's going to charge in. He's got a great angle here. Mython and PKL gets the first, falls up for the second, and that leaves Nick stranded and alone. He is on for the ace. Great job from Eric. And to note, it looks like the op is back in Flom's hands, so, you know, they're just kind of tossing that back and forth. Might just be positioning. Either way, Nick is going to get one here onto Cooper and likely be happy to save this AK because there's not really much else he can do.
The A stream is alive. Come on, Eric. Off the chain. Go hunt. He's not going to do it. Being reasonable.
I don't think so.
He wants to win the round.
Yeah.
I mean, smart play. Correct play. But what a nasty round from Eric. Two fantastic entries on towards B, just headshots out from that AK. And then obviously just a bit of positioning and PaiN not clearing a corner means that he stacks on two more. Very nice round for Eric. Coming alive here and delivering a round through to Mythic that they very much could use.
Yeah, and Eric does have the lead on his team in terms of headshot percentage at 53%, but is not typically known to come out with frags like that or rounds like that. So it's great to see him come alive here in these playoffs. And Mythic could make it as close as it could possibly get here in this first half. And as you alluded to, T-side, 6, even 7 rounds. That's really good. PKL going to drop Molotov for his teammate, then go back towards boost spot there at the B site. Cooper is having a peek, a prod. Mythic have not committed to either site just yet. They're hoping to get this first frag off an over-eager PaiN Gaming, and they might get their wish. Look at Mython. How does he get two? How does he get two in that position? Oh my goodness. Cooper trades him out, but that is just not good for Mythic.
No. What a way to play the smoke fade. Cooper's got the op back, picking it up off of Flom's carcass. What a cheeky play in the smoke fade. It was bold. And Nekis wants to get just as bold, but he'll think better of it. Smoke dropped. He can withdraw. The advantage of this is now, because he's got this deep control by Scaffold, they can potentially rotate PKL back off to support elsewhere. And as we've seen before, Mythic are really prone into this B hit. They've had a lot of success here on this fight by the steps, but now it's been spotted. I don't know if you want that repeat. Don't know if you want that repeat because there's an op on the other side. Eric dropped, so no risk there, but Cooper finds a gap in the smokes. And at least keeps this round in doubt. Still a disadvantage for Mythic, and they are running out of time. They are isolated as well, fighting towards mid, but Hate wins it. Nekus, his next victim. Hate's looking for it, but Nekus is just quicker. It's all on Cooper. 20 seconds. He knows the position of both players, but clearing too many potential angles. It's Big Uzera to take us into the halftime break. And we're back! We're back into it. 6-9 is the score line. 3-round lead for PaiN. And we do know PaiN loves a good dive, but this might give Mythic an opportunity. It's a repeat of the first half pistol, and it's going about the exact same way. They ran the same strat, just a little bit quicker here from PaiN, and they got the same opening pick on the player back site, and they're going to get the same bomb plant as well. It's already ticking away. This time, though, PKL has a very deep control on the flank. I might just be able to stop Hate from even getting involved in the round. And he will indeed.
Okay.
Okay, wow, PaiN not messing around in this pistol. It's just a cacophony of frags to shut down the round, not a casualty. Going back the other way as PaiN find double digits.
I'm not sure if that was a 4x3 moment for Hate or just slightly out of view, but that was tough. He was just really laser focused and holding his angle and got taken down. But yeah, you're absolutely right. PaiN just came through with the exact same strat that Mythic did towards that B site, took it quite handily and get their 10th round. And we can't forget, even though Mythic does do a pretty good job on their T side, PaiN is scary on both sides of the map here, and they're showing why, at least early on. Molotov going to get thrown there for sandbags, and PKL, almost gets taken down. He does manage to duck away from all the damage, and Big U and PKL just settle things down. And PKL is so good with that USP, just pulls it out, gets a couple of frags there, this time against lesser rifles, and of course, actually only pistols, but it is going to be an 11th quite handily for PaiN.
Enjoying
Good shots either way.
USP kills. PKL, dude, with the USP.
He's crazy.
Whew. Hi. He's actually leading the board right now. That's nice.
He's been doing that a lot lately.
I mean, we've always known he's individually capable, certainly,
Yes.
but sometimes IGL's right. The burden of IGLing, the burden of taking care of that aspect of the game just slows you down from thinking about your own crosshair to such a degree that it takes like the clutches for their brains to just zero in. And
Yes.
PKL's just been doing a lot more individually himself, especially when it comes to space creation too. Pretty good at that. Long. Will not get it.
TK?
The only
TK?
only death so far for PaiN was Nekiz taking Big Uzera out of this world.
Huh.
Got 2 kills in the zone, so I think it's okay. Twice will come into the fight, but he doesn't get it. And at this point, Eric definitely has to save. Don't think he ever thought he wasn't going to be saving, but he is definitely saving now.
It's not the first full buy-up that Mythic had planned out. Oh boy, I mean, Neck is so excited to find targets. He takes on one of his own, but it doesn't make a difference at all in the round, as Eric, the last one standing here, was hoping that someone would come towards that B site for the entire round and didn't really move much of a muscle, or had to, because now he's just going to carry this on forward to round number 19. PaiN Gaming going to cruise to 12 here in the second half.
Boom. There we go. That's my cast. Just gonna do an onomatopoeia cast.
Perfect. Pew pew boom.
Boom.
Swish swish.
So for Mythic, I mean, it's kind of a tough spot, right? Do you put anything around this one rifle? Do you just try and get a really good buy when PaiN Gaming are going to presumably be on 13? I mean, you get into the tail end, right, where you're not even really going to be able to show off your CT side much.
I think there's a time not going to be called here, I'm assuming, by Mythic. I don't think it would be a bad idea to invest in some pistols. Yeah, they do. I think sometimes.
Let's go check the logs.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was Mythic.
Yeah, it's Team Mythic timeout. You're correct.
Yeah, they want to talk things over. Why not? They're thinking about forcing up this round. They can still go for a decent half buy, and that's what they're going to do, right? You get an MP9, a CZ, a Deagle, a P250, a little bit of utility, not as much as they would like, but it helps out the A1S, but doesn't sacrifice your buy up into the next round. So I like this decision from Mythic. Shows they have some faith in Eric with the A1S, and let's see how it pans out. PaiN Gaming have doubled up on their scoreline now at 12-6. But Mythic have a chance to catch them off guard, maybe with some cheeky player hate. Hit a pretty nutty Deagle shot in the first half. It didn't really lead to much because it was the only frag in the round, but still, maybe he can do something with the Deagle this time, as Big U's going to find some free real estate here onto the B site. Yeah, the risk here was Mythic trying to stack up towards mid and A, and, well, that leaves this huge gap that's been completely exploited.
Yeah, you had to do something. You had to do something a little unorthodox. Unfortunately, PaiN Gaming a little bit. There's a kill, though. Rifle now down a second as well. Uh-oh, things are getting interesting. PaiN Gaming, this is not the round you want to topple, and now they don't have the numbers in position on B, so PKL's actually going to have to give this up.
Oh, no.
He's got reinforcements coming on in. Nekiz with the first. But it's all rifles up on the other side now, and Eric goes 1 for 1. Players still not grouped. 50 seconds. They've got time to work with here, John, but this round has not gone according to plan. PaiN Gaming had the chance to absolutely annihilate Mythic here, and instead, I almost think they were too hungry for the individual kills, so they stayed spread out despite having that deep control when they could have just held onto the site and taken the run comfortably.
And look where Cooper's managed to sneak into
He
here
can
into
run
the
us
back
all.
halls. Yeah.
There's a flank. There's a flank too. Twice is coming up the backside. This could get weird. He's up the ramp. They know Cooper's in the side hall, but will they expect another? They don't go for the fight against Cooper. Now it's going to come down to one. There's no way Nick
I don't think they
expects another
know.
to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dead man. He's trying to go for the plant, and that's it. Mythic have done it somehow, some way in this round with 1 rifle and 4 pistols. They make it work. They make it happen.
I mean, look, yeah, like you said, the limited investment, only an SMG and a rifle into the round side of the pistols. But wow, Cooper here to get that frag and set things up for Twice. Perfectly done. He was even baiting them out for the flank to come in from Twice. But at the end of the day, PaiN Gaming came to them. 12-7, first round of this second half picked up by Mythic. And really, that was PaiN's round to have. They didn't have to overextend. They had the B site. They could have just fell back, planted the bomb, wait for Mythic to come on the retake. Instead, they keep pushing up more and more and more until Mythic starts to get in on the action. Now this time though, Nython gets the opener, Bigu finds hate, and perhaps PaiN trying to make amends for their mistake.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's button this up a little bit.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Oh.
Don't do that again. Nekius does eventually get dropped here in towards mid, but he's done plenty of damage. Obviously, Eric and Flom are completely isolated. Eric is low, and he's done. Off the building you go. Tumbling on down. Gravity is a tricky guy. And that'll be the round. Very nicely done. Flom enters the stratosphere as well. PaiN Gaming with a 6-round lead make amends for the sins of their previous, and because Mythic only survived with 1 player in that last, there's no money, John. There's no money.
They need the money. They don't have it. Twice does. He's going to force up.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. Hero rifle. All right. Okay.
I would have rather him
Content.
bought up MP9s, perhaps, for his teammates if they're really going to invest that
Nah.
heavily.
They won their other round with pistols and 1 rifle, so clearly that's the solution.
Sure, Mike. All right.
Transitive property or something like that, I think, John.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works. Little boost up.
Boost,
Oh,
yeah.
little cheeky boost.
Did they see it? I think they
Yeah,
heard
they
it.
did. They did. They saw the head. It's hard to spam that, but utility's really effective for taking care of that boost, clearing that corner. Miguel? He's already got 20 kills. Got a kill around. And Hard Sal's out of play here. Eric with these pistols, man, is different. Can't give him too many opportunities. They are grouped up for this A hit. Got 1 more player to join them. They're taking their time with it. 50 seconds to give you an opportunity to Mythic to rotate around and isolating these fights. It's getting a little weird. There's smokes in, so this bomb might just be able to be planted. Just going to let Bigu Zero forward to get it down, but he still wants to fight. He's still expecting someone to come through smoking it, admittedly against Mythic. That's not a bad bet. And they do eventually, but oh, he's good for it. The slow walk from Twice was a little bit too far. And indeed, it's going to be Bigu Zero to take 4 big kills to swing this round back in favor of PaiN and take them onto the 14.
Yeah, Bigu and Nekez were watching for that, so perhaps realizing that Mythic would go for something cheeky, and both of them dealt with it so easily. And that's going to make it 14-7, who have again... That's going to make it 14-7 for PaiN, who have again doubled up on the scoreline on Mythic. Op going to come out here in Nython's hands. 2-3 AKs. The A1S coming through on their side. And over on Mythic, they got A1Ss across the board. And they were looking for a quick peek towards that ramp, but a Molotov and a flashbang forced them back as Eric is trying to stand guard on this B site. He will have his hands full very shortly should PaiN decide to push 2 players up, but he does have reinforcements at boost spot. That said, PKL's already made it his way up scaffolding, and he's having to peek towards those side halls while Nython supports with the utility. So, I mean, PaiN's taken a slower pace to this round, much more methodical. They don't want a repeat of what happened when Mythic picked up their 7th.
Well, with the opening pick already going their way, Nekez is a little low, but this is a pretty good situation for PaiN to be in. Lots of ground taken towards the A ramp as well. There's not a lot of reinforcements here for Mythic. It's just the one with Cooper. 8 also close at hand, and seems like Twice might be floating here, but they've had trouble holding on to this position. See if they can do it. Deep smokes in. There's not going to be a lot of vision here for Mythic. It's a lot of blind spamming and praying. This is likely a retake scenario. They've got a decent util for it, but losing Eric, it's not going to make that easier. A little hop up. Ineffective. Zera watching for that one all the way through. At this point, it's all falling apart, and it's all over. Map point found. Mythic in the dumpster. They don't even really have money to go for this round here, John, but they might just be seeing this map, their map choice, slipping away.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like almost an inevitability going up against PaiN, who love to play here. I think the first team that Mythic have played on Vertigo that actually enjoys the map. And, well, their record speaks for itself, 11-4, like we said earlier, and they're showing that they are certainly up to the task here against this Mythic squad. Hate's going to try and push out here into the scaffolding. He does get spotted out, but for some reason the call is not there. Vigu goes down, Cooper gets PKL, and now Hate's going to spam through the smoke to connect for another one, but it's Nython in return who follows the tracers and gets the trade. 3v3. Hardzal barely hanging by a thread, and Flom is going to get Nython. Okay.
There we go. The gun barrel just a little bit too wide. The one major disadvantage of that A1S. Even with its reduced magazine, it's still deadly. But it's that gun barrel that occasionally does sell you out. It's like a little periscope sticking up from a submarine. Eric is close here. This is going to be overlooked. This could get spicy. The flashbang's there, but Eric's past it. Oh, he's been seen, but it's too late. Too little, too late. Hardzal's got no health for this. Hardzal knows he's in a tough spot, and a flank's even on. So timing gets away from him there. Flom nervous to go around the corner, being low himself, but it'll be twice instead from the front to keep Mythic fighting, to keep Mythic alive, to keep Mythic in this map.
It seems like Mythic is playing better when their backs are against the wall here. With on an eco, they get that first round here on a force buy. They pick it up with the FAMASas of all things, which many players will attest is a very, very bad gun in a lot of situations, and they prefer to have the MP9. But hey, look, it worked for Mythic that time, and Hate's going to carry it on forward. The rest are going to upgrade. Nython peeks around, tries to go for a quick pick with the AWP. He's not going to find it. Eric looking around with the AK, and, well, he's going to choose to be a little more patient here. Doesn't want to get caught off, and he's holding the spot that Bigu did when PaiN were on their CT side, where it dealt a lot of damage against Mythic. $120 remaining on the clock here, Mike, and PaiN are biding their time. They want that opener. They don't even have the bomb on their backs yet. Really want to see where they can open up that space to go for a hit. Oh, Bigu could get a flank onto Flom here if he plays his cards right, but he still wants to try and slip through the cracks and deal even more damage, potentially. Oh, this could be so bad for Mythic.
He's got so much space. He's got such an absurd amount of control and vision. This is actually wild.
Is he taking too long,
straight
though?
up in front of them. I mean, Cooper's found two, but he wanted to be through, right? He wanted to be all the way through and knows that he had this, and he knows Cooper's here as well. Hate has been collected. Sorry, Cooper was already dead. It's Hate instead who gets found, and now he's got this control. Yes, he did lose two teammates, but that was just too prime a position to not work with. He's not going to realize that Flom's past him, though. He's not ahead of this rotate. He is going to be the backstab, and they still haven't cleared him out. They think they have. They think he's gone past. Oh, no. Oh, no. There's one. Looking for the second. Knows that he's here as well. And there's nowhere for Eric to go. He's locked in a very hard place. And indeed, that will be